Hello, my name is Chaplain Dan Thompson. I have heard it said that you can live about a month without food, days without water, and even minutes without air, yet you can only live moments without hope. In what you're about to watch, we are going to see stories about hope. Those in uniform who have experienced a lot of hardship, pain, struggles, and all the above, and yet through their faith, they've been able to get through all that with hope.
My name is Senior Airman Amber Shepard, and I have hope.
My name is Amy Brace, an Army spouse, and I have hope.
Hello, my name is Tech Sergeant Jesse Hensel, and I have hope.
Hi, my name is Lieutenant Colonel Keith Brace, and I have hope.
My name is Master Chief Neese, and I have hope.
Hi, my name is Staff Sergeant Javier Trujillo, and I have hope.
At one point when I was 21, my grandmother died, I lost my insurance, and I also found out that I was pregnant. And I didn't know what to do. I wasn't ready to raise a baby, and I became depressed. I fell into a hole, and I just prayed to God for guidance and answers. My friends suggested that we should go to the recruiter's office, and I had nothing else to lose. So we went, and I had this interest, and I decided that I wanted to go. And I prayed to God that if I pass this test to get in, then it's meant for me to go. And here I am today. Everything that has happened on this journey has been a blessing, and I thought that I was escaping my current reality, but it was actually God's plan to place me here because this is where I needed to be. When you put your faith and trust in Him, He will definitely answer your prayers and give you hope in your darkest times.
One of the hardest things about being a military spouse is the time away and having to run the home and take care of everything without the help of your spouse. It's in those times that God has put people in our lives, friends, family, that we can turn to and get the help that we need. You know, people ask me all the time, how do you do that? How can you survive, you know, when your husband has to deploy and he's in harm's way? And all I can say is that God just gives you strength for what you need to go through for that time. I have hope because God has gotten me through some of the hardest times in my life.
Here in 2011, I was diagnosed with cancer, and without God and without my church family, I don't think that my wife and I and my family would have made it through it, because it was a very serious cancer. We were given odds probably less than 50%. Cancer was 1 in a million. But right now I'm in remission. Typically they can't say it's officially remission until about 5 years, but it's been close to 3. There's a lot of difficult things coming up, and my wife and I know that, but we're ready for it. We'll take it one step at a time, because if we try to control it and try to worry about it, it's just gonna tear us down. You have to rely on other people, and you have to use them as your support. You can't do it yourself, you can't do it alone. I'm stronger now than I was before. Before I even got sick, I had trouble with my faith, and when I actually got sick, because it really sealed it. I was a lot better person afterwards.
In 2006, when I deployed to Iraq, Baghdad, Iraq, I knew that I was in for a difficult time and a trial. But I went in there with great hope in 3 things: my faith, my family, and my friends. And that really carried me through. But one of the things that I really relied heavily on was prayer. And that prayer that I would say every day before leaving the gates is what covered me. And I tell people that you have to pray before you're in the fight. You can't pray when the bullets are flying. That's the time to defend yourself, and protect your men and women that you've got with you. So I would always pray beforehand and bring God with me on every patrol, so that I knew if I got any trouble, He was with me. Had an issue at about the 11-month mark in our deployment, and that was my turn to be in the fire, if you will. And I was on a routine patrol, like many that we had done, and we were just about finished. We were heading back to our combat outpost, and 300 feet in front of our gate, they had emplaced a roadside bomb, and they attacked us and hit my vehicle. And it was one of those experiences that I will never forget. And yet the one thing, now being 7+ years removed from that experience, I look back on that and know that it was God's hand, His miraculous protection. Because if you were to see pictures of my vehicle, you would not believe anyone survived. And yet, not only did I survive, but everyone in the vehicle survived and are alive to tell the story. And I'm here today and I'm proud to say that faith, family, and friends got me through a pretty difficult struggle.
My hope's in God. I'm a nuclear-trained electronics technician in the United States Navy. I've operated nuclear reactors on board aircraft carriers all around the world, from Bremerton, Washington, Yokosuka, Japan, Norfolk, Virginia. And as you can imagine, as with any job in the military, there's going to be long days, training, drills, broken equipment, failed examinations, sleepless nights. You know, you get off watch at 10 to 2, and an hour later you get that knock, "Chief, this equipment's broken." And when you're ready to just throw it in the hands, you know, one more failed exam, one more, you know, training that doesn't go the way I want it to go, and one more piece of equipment breaks, I'm done. That's when I can turn to God, and that's when I can know that as long as I'm doing what God would have me be doing, as long as I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, I have hope. I don't just endure. I can overcome. I can be victorious. I can rejoice in these things that are difficult because I have hope that I'm doing what God would have me to do. That's a life of victory. That's a life of hope.
I recently faced a really hard time. During Christmas, my dad passed away, and that was the first time I had dealt with death. And it's really hard, but what got me through it was my faith. And I knew that God was there with me, and also being surrounded by others who had the same type of faith. Going through that death brought me a really strong sense of peace and comfort that I knew that only God can provide. And so I know that in the future when I face something like that even though it may seem dark, that there's a hope to get through it. What really has helped me a lot was being around other young adults who share the same faith. They're there to support and encourage me along the way. We have a young adult ministry at the chapel, as well as the chaplain staff that has always reached out to me and given me tools and things I need to get through my trials.
Hello, I'm Chaplain Ryan Ayers. You've heard some great stories about people who are going through struggles in their lives. Some of them have overcome the struggles, while others are still in the midst of it. But the one thing that kept consistent across that is that they weren't alone, and neither are you. You might be going through struggles, you might be going through problems in your life that you have no idea how to overcome them. But let me assure you that spiritual resiliency is about hope, not religion. Your chaplain's already here standing available for you, ready to help you and help guide you to hope. There's people all around you that if they knew what your struggle was, they would be happy to help you and help guide you to that hope. Let me assure you that if you reach out to your chaplain, that you have 100% confidentiality. That means that anything that you say to the chaplain stays between you and them. And remember, there are no hopeless situations.